Why am I not getting the newsletters I signed up for? 3 steps to help improve the situation. Hi everyone, I'm Leo Notenboom for askleo.com, where since 2003 I've been sending out a newsletter and answering questions just like this one. It happens. People sign up for my newsletter and then all of a sudden they're not getting it. There's a bunch of different reasons, but they really all boil down to one: spam. Spam. Lots of spam. More spam. There is so much spam. Imagine, every once in a while, I try to imagine what the world would be like if there weren't spam, and it's such a wonderful thing when you think about the amount of energy and resources and money that we spend fighting and blocking and arguing about spam. It's just incredible. Today's question, this is really just another example of how we're doing exactly that. I've got another article out on Ask Leo, Why is my mail to this person not getting through, that talks about this from the other side, people who are sending email and it's not reaching their recipient. This one is more specific about what you as a recipient can do when you know you should be getting some email, like a newsletter, and it's not coming in. The bottom line is that legitimate email will occasionally get filtered as spam, which of course leads to the question, well, what is it that makes spam spam? It's incredibly complicated. It is so complicated. There are no rules, really. And that's part of the problem, because whatever quote unquote rule we might come up with today, the spammers figure out a way around it tomorrow, and they start abusing and reusing those techniques to make sure that they can get their stuff in our inbox. In the battle against spam, of course, the spam filters, the tools that automatically look for and protect us, if you will, from too much spam in our inbox, they'll fire false positives. This looks a little bit too much like spam, so I'm going to throw it in your spam folder instead of your inbox. That's the problem. That's what we're probably facing here. So when you're missing an email, when you know that an email is supposed to be heading to you, and yet it's not showing up in your inbox and hasn't shown in a while, be sure to give it enough time to get there. Email is not necessarily instantaneous. It's actually built to handle delays of multiple days, believe it or not. But if the email that you know should have arrived hasn't, here are some things to do. First, check your spam folder. Seriously, that's the first place to go. It may be called a junk folder, it may be called spam, it may be called commercial mail, it may be called any number of different things, but spam or junk seem to be the most common. Check those folders and look for the message there. If it's there, mark it as not spam. Most email providers that have a spam filter have a way to handle this specific case of email erroneously being flagged as spam and being placed in your spam folder. Usually it's a simple right click and a mark as not spam or not junk, but basically tell your email provider that this email that you just got is not spam, even though it was filtered into your spam folder. Now, to be clear, this won't have immediate effect. You may need to do this multiple times. Spam filters learn over time what is and is not spam. Just like marking spam in your inbox as spam, marking as not spam anything you find in your spam folder will take a little while to take effect. Be patient. Give it time. Look in your spam folder if you know that something is missing, and when you find it there, every time, mark it as not spam, and hopefully the spam filter will learn over time that this email is not spam to you and really does belong in your inbox. Second idea, whitelist. Now this gets a little bit more complicated, but what you have the opportunity to do in many email programs and email providers that provide spam filtering is the ability to say that email from this email address, or potentially even from this email domain, should never, ever be considered spam. Another thing that may be available is that many programs and services that provide spam filtering also provide you with an opportunity to say that email from this email address or even this entire email domain is never spam. It's usually referred to as a whitelist, although now the terminology is starting to change to things like allow list. But the bottom line is you have the opportunity to specify which emails should never even be considered in the spam analysis. That'll be in different places, in different email programs and different email services, but it is something that you can do proactively to basically bypass the whole spam filtering situation to begin with. So hopefully that helps. One thing I do want to throw out is that you should never, ever report as spam email that you did ask for. In other words, if you subscribe to my newsletter and you suddenly don't want it anymore, don't mark it as spam. You asked for it. You signed up for the newsletter. Here's why. It may not matter to you. It may not. If it's one of those things where, yep, marking it as spam will keep it out of my inbox so I don't have to see it anymore. The problem is many services use your marking it as spam as an indication that other people should also not see it. So one of the reasons that is very much out of your control is other people marking the email messages that you expect to get as spam. In other words, other subscribers to the same newsletters you get. If they're marking something as spam, that could affect your ability to get the email delivered to your inbox as well. That's why marking as not spam is so important. But don't become part of that problem. Don't mark as spam the email that you actually asked for. Those you should unsubscribe from. When it comes to spam, mark it as spam. But if you asked for it, unsubscribe from it, and you should be good. Hopefully that all helps. For links to related articles, the text article that this video was based on, updates, and the ability to leave a comment, visit askleo.com/10979. I'm Leo Notenboom. This is askleo.com. Thanks for watching.